Hello everyone and welcome back to the Auto Alex channel. You join Taylor Hetherington, Rory Mackay and I back in a brand new unit. It's nice, isn't it?
It is nice.
For a very special video. I know I say that every single week, but this episode is extra special. Special because I've become obsessed with a certain motor vehicle. A Porsche 993. I've got it in my head that I need one this year, and the only way I'm going to be able to afford one is to rob a bank.
When you say you're obsessed with it, is that because you just saw your neighbour's one?
Yes. Yeah, the neighbour has a really nice one, and then his business partner has a Ferrari 360, I think.
We didn't even come here to film this video. This is literally just him seeing this and going, I want it. And now we've come up with a whole video plan to try and get him a 993.
Well, I've always wanted one, but then he's just been flaunting about putting on the engine and telling me that it's lowered and it's got a special exhaust on it, and he drives away and he boots it off, and I'm like, well, brilliant, now I need to have one. So, like I said, the only way I'm going to be able to afford one is by robbing a bank. So today, we are going to be looking for vehicles to be able to smash through walls and get into vaults. So today is a tank challenge.
Yep.
Oh yes, finally.
Yeah? We're not going to do that, but we are going to do the next best thing, which is a trading up series. Yay! So that means that we are going to buy a car cheap, tart it up a little bit, and then sell it high, which is where Taylor comes in, because that's what he does for a living. He buys shit and then he sells it really expensively to people.
How dare you? I buy nice stuff and sell it at a reasonable price.
So we're going to start this episode, episode 1 of the Trading Up series, with a budget of £5,000. And over the course of 5 or 6 cars, we're going to trade up to £50,000, and then I'll be able to get my 993.
That's quite ambitious.
Yes, I've set myself up for failure, but I'm going to give it a bloody good go. Also, if I do get close to that 993 budget, I will also be selling my 944.
Okay.
You didn't tell us that.
That genuinely makes me sad saying it. I love that car, but I love a 993 more. So hopefully, over the course of the next few months, you'll see us succeed. But probably not. We'll probably fail.
This is just an excuse for you to buy more cars.
It is,
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
So we're going to jump on Facebook Marketplace, Auto Trader, eBay, the lot, and then we're going to see if we can think of any good cars that we can sell higher than we buy. Any ideas?
What about a Boxster? Start with a Porsche, end with a Porsche.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah?
How much do boxes go for?
You can get them fairly cheap, to be fair. I sold one fairly recently. I think I got 4 or 5 grand for it.
How much did you pay for it?
I can't disclose that kind of information, Rory.
Also, stuff like mini convertibles. Would people be interested in those?
They tend to take a while to sell.
So are we set on just convertibles? Or are we...
No,
Not desperately.
anything.
Not
No,
desperately.
no.
But we know that it'll probably sell quite quickly.
So I'm on Letchworth.
Yeah.
I'm on their website, and their first listing here, which is up for sale today, and it is an Audi A4 S-Line convertible auto.
Autos are good, right?
I feel like autos have got more popular over these last few years. I think people are getting a bit lazier, aren't they?
I always think that four-seat convertibles look like bathtubs with the roof open. I've found this. It's a 2000 Porsche Boxster. It's a 2.7 petrol manual, very, very thorough
2.7.
description.
That is good.
And it's got the desirable split wheels on it. Also, I just looked and it looks like it might have a stainless steel exhaust on it.
It'll sound good, and with those special wheels, it'll look good as well.
Yeah.
And it looks really grubby in the pics, and the pictures are terrible as well.
Yeah, rubbish pictures, but it has got the clear indicators, which is quite nice.
Is it running all right?
It's Facebook Marketplace, you never know.
All it says in the description is Porsche Boxster 2.7 petrol manual.
Wow, I love a thorough description. Well done, that man or woman. Are you going to message that person?
Yes, I've just messaged them, and it's only £3,700. Oh, they've just replied.
Already?
Yeah.
Oh my God, what's happening? Can we make a phone call straight away? I've not even opened up eBay.
Hello there, it's Taylor here. I'm calling about the Porsche Boxster that you've got for sale.
Yep. So I got a car beginning of the year, something like that, and it was sat for a few years.
Does it have an MOT at the moment?
Yes.
Oh, it does have
MOT, few months old.
Yeah. And what does it drive like? Is the clutch okay and stuff like that? Does it have good power?
Yeah, the clutch is good, and the door is good. Yeah. I mean, someone else asked me for it.
And how many owners does it have?
114,000.
No, owners.
Honest.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
All right, well, what I'll do, if it's okay, I'm just going to speak to my friend and see if I can arrange a lift over to you, and then we'll go from there, if that's all right. But yeah, it might be potentially interesting coming to see it today. Cheers, bye-bye.
He's very ill, isn't he?
But it does sound quite promising.
It does.
So it seems like a good option, that car, then.
It's definitely worth considering.
How about we'll put that on the back burner, the warm burner. A 2003 Audi TT.
That is nice.
It's a 225 BAM, manual transmission,
Well,
3
slow
owners.
mileage.
Convertible, good condition, few age-related marks, runs perfectly, lots of history, own the car for 5 years. No silly offers or potential joyriders, please. Thanks for looking. And he's a motorbiker as well.
It's the thing is with these cars, I feel like we need to, if we are looking to seriously get to 50 grand, I think we need to be spending the full 5 grand budget.
Yeah, I think Rory's right. Instead of buying a car that's cheap for a 5 grand budget, we need to find a car that's cheap for 5 grand that's worth like 7 or 8.
Come on, Brain.
It's difficult, isn't it?
Any Mercedes that are interesting? Probably not.
Mercedes-Benz.
Probably not, right? What about a Yamaha R6 track bike?
It's not a car.
You buy 2 of them.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah?
Yeah, and then we'll then just stick a bar in between them.
Yeah.
You can ride one, Taylor can ride the other.
I don't want Taylor anywhere near it if I'm on it.
No,
What do you mean?
I really want to do,
How
by the way,
dare you?
let me know if you guys want to do this as well. I want to do a sidecar challenge. So you two have to buy a motorbike with a sidecar.
If
and then
you think
go on an
I'm getting in the
adventure with him
side-
in the sidecar.
If
and
you
riding the
think
bike.
I'm
Sidecar.
getting in the side, you can sling her
And
up.
just like the Birchall brothers at
Yeah.
the TT, you're going to have to be like swinging about because I'm going to go everywhere flat.
If you think I'm getting in a sidecar with you, you can think again. I'll drive it, but I ain't getting in the box.
There's no driving it. You have
I'll
to
ride it, but I ain't getting in the box.
You are getting in the box.
That's nice. I like that. What's the mileage? 125. That's actually quite cheap.
That seems really tidy and completely unmolested.
Yeah,
Needs a little bit of paint.
that's actually really reasonably priced.
Blue carbon interior, selling due to funding my other project. Upgraded front brakes to B8 S4 with yellow stuff brake pads. Wheels are refurbished by previous owner. Brand new tyres. Drives really smooth and pulls well. Suspension is creaky, especially on front passenger
Probably
side.
one of the top suspension arms.
Paintwork isn't great. Look at pictures to see. Bumpers, boot, driver's door, main areas affected.
That is nice.
Shall I message him?
Yeah, message him. Alex might have actually found a car.
Have I done something?
So how much do you think we could sell that for, though, Taylor? What sort of profit are we looking
125k miles.
What did I sell my last one for? It was either 8 or 8.5, if I remember rightly.
If we get this for 5, there's potentially
Yeah.
£3 grand profit. Hi, yes, still for sale.
Oh, brilliant.
Perfect. Can I have your number?
Can we come and see it now?
Hello?
Hello, mate. I'm phoning about your Audi S4 that you got for sale on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, you're all right. With the car, it's more the bodywork, which is its downfall.
Okay.
Running wise and that, I think is fine. I've had brand new tyres put on a few months ago, but I barely drive the car, so they're still pretty new.
Yeah.
Clutch seems pretty good. I mean, I haven't driven it. I've driven it a few hours at a time, but to me, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But obviously, everyone's personal preference may be different. I mean, if you're local, you're more than welcome to come take for a drive.
Yeah, I'm not too far away. I'm in Reading at the moment. Is there much negotiation?
There is, yeah.
Okay, cool.
depending
So
on how much.
you'll take offers then. Well, what kind of ballpark are you looking at? What kind of price would you be happy with if I was to come down and be happy with everything?
If you're happy with everything, I like mine coming down to 4.5. I know that's still a lot, but I mean that's where I kind of am at the moment.
Well,
Yeah.
let me have a quick chat with my friend, and I might give you a call back in a bit if that's all right. Can you remind me of your name again, please?
Chris.
Okay, nice one, Chris. I'm Alex.
Yeah, I follow you on YouTube anyway, so I know about it.
Oh shit!
You've been bamboozled.
Been bamboozled.
Does that mean we get it for £2,000?
No, it's a £2,000 car now, isn't it? All right then, Chris. Thank you very much.
Nice one.
Appreciate that. Speak soon. Bye, mate. Bye, bye.
I reckon we might be able to get that fairly cheap.
I reckon
he'd go down
£4,000.
to 4. Yeah, I think he'd go down to 4.
So, I mean, look at it.
It is pretty cool, I must admit.
I'm going to call it. I think this could be the first car of the Trading Up series. Chris? Oh, that you're right. So So we have just made it to Essex. Took about 2.5 hours.
It took 30 days and 30 nights.
It really did, yeah. And as you can see, this is S4 Avant that we looked at on Facebook Marketplace. Currently owned by a guy called Chris, who's over there in the black t-shirt. Oh, it's an RX-8. And he has got that really, really nice Volvo there. The reason we're here is to have a look at the S4. And on first inspection, I mean, exterior-wise, it is as described.
Yeah.
The front bumper, I mean, it needs a full respray, front and rear bumper. The wheels and tyres look very good. Should we have a little walk around, do a quick exterior? Oh, I didn't notice that as well.
It's got a chip.
Yeah.
It's got a couple of fish and chips in the windscreen.
It does, okay.
Yeah, that's not too bad though. With any of these, you've got to look out for rust, especially along the bottoms of the doors, along these plastic trims. They like to rust along there, especially the bottoms of the arches. Also, in the bottoms of the door shuts here.
Yeah.
They like to rust down there as well. This one looks really clean, really good. It actually hasn't got any rust on it that I can find whatsoever, apart from on the tailgate. There's a little bit of Michael Bublé going on there.
Yeah. So like we said, front and rear bumper, they obviously need to be pulled
And that
off
side.
and resprayed, and the whole side as well.
Just the whole side, yeah.
It just needs a full restoration, doesn't it?
Maybe we could paint it.
Yes, yeah, we do have a good
Reputation for painting cars, yeah.
Trim here is starting to come loose.
It's sort of bowed a bit there. I don't know what's going on there. It's got 4 new tyres on it, which is quite nice. It has also got uprated brakes off of the B6 S4, I believe, and they are massive, and they're about a millimetre away from the wheels.
And we have the centre caps as well, which for whatever reason didn't get done when the wheels got done, which is odd. Yeah. But they are there.
But yeah, it looks very nice and original.
Completely original,
original trims. It's quite hard to find this because these cars obviously went through the 90s, or the latter side of the 90s, and they were usually molested in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But this one seems really nice.
Are we talking about the car or me?
Both.
Right.
Well, you went through the 80s as well, so you're like double molested.
The interior looks mint as well. 125,000 miles.
Low for one of these. They're usually really high mileage. The seats are in lovely nick. Steering wheel's not really too worn, and it's got the really nice blue weave carbon trim. If you look at it in the sunlight, it's got like a really nice blue weave within the carbon.
And how much of an option was that new?
About £2,000, I believe. Also, speaking of options, it's got Bose, which is also really nice, because without Bose, the stereos are a bit rubbish.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of little chippy chips on the bonnet as well, but that's pretty normal.
Yeah.
It looks really clean in here. All the tops of the struts look really good, all rust-free. Bulkhead looks rust-free. It's got all of its original engine covers, which again is quite nice.
Yeah.
One thing we did speak to Chris about, which we forgot to ask him on the phone, was whether the cam belt was due. And I think it is due for another cam belt, which is a bit unfortunate because to replace it, you have to take the entire front end of the car off, and it is a pain in the arse.
And that's how big a job, price-wise, time-wise?
300 to 500 quid, I'd say. It's a full day's work, really.
Yeah.
It's quite a big job. All the headlights, bumper, slam panel, condenser, rad pack, all of that has to come off.
Yeah.
And then it's cam belt, water pump, aux belt, tensioners, stuff like that, all replaced.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I've noticed looking down here, if you look at the water pump, it sits straight, but the auxiliary belt tensioner is slightly on the piss.
Oh, it is on the piss, yeah.
You see it's slightly wonky. That's a sign that that's starting to collapse. So that will want replacing at the same time.
Just lever bar. Just bend
Just sort of bend it back in. Well, you could do that, yeah. Also, another thing as well, all the bonnet looks really nice and original. You get the original stickers on there.
Yeah.
All that jazz. Original sort of soundproofing under there. It's also, it looks really nice. Really nice and original.
Should we start it up?
Yep, start her up. Are you ready, Rory, for this V6 twin turbo? Ooh.
God, that sounds so good.
Really sweet,
Like a
isn't it?
skewing machine.
I believe that these engines were Porsche derived. Don't quote me on that, but I believe they were.
Well, I know a thing or two about Porsche-derived engines, because I don't know if you know, but my Phil, the V6 from the Jaguar, originally from the Jaguar, was Porsche-derived. Yeah.
You've never mentioned it.
Really?
Do you know
Well,
what?
actually, in the 80s, Porsche started developing a V6, and then they're like, actually, this is too good for us, so we're going to sell it for billions and billions of pounds. And then Jaguar and Ford took it over, then they just perfected it.
Is that what happened?
And then it went in, Phil.
Do you know what else was
Porsche.
Porsche derived? The Mark 1 Vauxhall Zafira.
Again, brilliant car.
Did you know that Vauxhall tried to design it and the chassis and body was so floppy that they had to pay someone else to do it? So they got Porsche to do it, which is why there's a Mark 1 Vauxhall Zafira in the Porsche Museum in Germany.
Wow. The more you know. Anyway,
Back to this.
Back to this. So things we know so far without driving the car, obviously, and he has mentioned that maybe a top mount or something like that is not happy on this. He said
Yeah,
front
I think it's a
suspension.
top arm. It sounds like one of the ball joints
okay.
is really dry,
Yeah.
so it wants a
So
top
we know
arm there.
it needs that. It needs a cam belt. It needs front and rear bumpers respraying. It ideally needs the whole side respraying.
yeah,
it needs
yeah.
the headlining doing. £2,000. There's £2,000 to spend on it.
But at the end of it, you'll have a fairly low mileage, mint condition Audi S4 Avant in a really, really original state.
Yeah.
Is there profit to be made?
If we can get it for the right price,
What does the right price look like? It's now looking like £3,000.
yeah, I'd say so. We'll try and get it for £3,000.
Shall we go for a quick drive?
Yes.
Just around the block and then we
Yeah.
can figure it out.
Yeah, yeah.
You want to do the driving? You do the driving.
I can do the driving.
Okay.
You might slip the clutch.
Yeah, I will slip the clutch.
Oh, I really like these cars. These are by far my favourite Audis, genuinely.
I love the interior. It feels really robust. I love this carbon fibre. I love that you feel really cocooned.
It feels really solid as well. Like the build quality is really nice.
It's definitely not as quick as your old one, is it?
No,
That one was something special.
That was a 400 plus brake, that car.
This feels like whatever standard it is, 230, 240.
Yeah,
max.
it does feel a little bit down on power. It could have a split vac line. As I
Yeah.
said, they are very common for those. One thing I have noticed, we've been driving for a little while now, and the temperature gauge has not moved.
Perfect. Oh, not perfect.
So the temperature gauge is not working.
Yeah.
Could either be a dodgy temperature sensor, which is common,
Yeah.
or it could be the actual gauge, which is common.
Do you want to turn it round and I'll have a little go?
Yeah, yeah. Let me just, I'll do you a favour.
What are you
I'll
doing?
put the seat into your
What are you
position for
saying? What are you
just
up
helped
to?
you out.
Get out. Get out. Get out. Oh, this is perfect. This is my perfect driving position.
Oh, this has got a CD in it. Original jazz classics.
Oh, we like that. Brakes are pretty good, aren't they?
This is definitely a different type of road test.
You can't rag the life out of it. We
6
haven't
speed.
bought it yet.
Well, it's a performance car. You've got to go through the gears. So what are we thinking then? Realistically, now that we've driven it, it needs minimum £2,000 spending on it. Probably realistically £2,500.
I don't know. You'll be surprised. I think worst case it's £2,000.
Obviously, we're saying £2,000 is just parts, and that's obviously not including your labour time as well, Tate. Like if we're looking at this actually honestly, I think this actually needs about £3,000 putting into it.
I reckon we'll get £8,000 for it
Do you?
if we tidy it up and sell it.
So we're going to push for 3.
Yeah.
I'm not really going to want to go more than that. 3.5 at a max.
You have to, otherwise we don't have a video. But yeah.
And then all in, £2,500. We're looking at £6,000. That gives us a £2,000 max profit.
That's good. I think that's good for the first car that you're selling. Let me do the talking and we'll see what we get it for.
Right, so before we start negotiating with Chris, I'm going to practice what I preach and run a car vertical report on this Audi S4 to make sure that it hasn't been crashed, stolen or clocked. I've already done it. And as you can see here, I've got a green tick for theft, mileage, finance and damage that tells me that this car is a good one. So now all we need to do is speak to Chris, try and get that price down. Before we do that though, a reminder that it is so important to run a car vertical report on any car that you want to buy. If we take a look at this Mercedes-Benz C-Class, we can see that we've got an amber warning light already for theft, green ticks for mileage and finance, and then an amber warning for damage. And on the new look car vertical, you can see already that we've got photos pretty much straight off the bat. So if we open up those, we can see that this C-Class is pretty much unrecognizable from the front. Massive, massive front end damage. Yeah, it looks like it's gone into something very, very large. Airbags have gone off. It looks completely ruined. And then when we scroll down, you can see that in these pictures, it obviously has been repaired, but we know that this has got a very, very shady past. If we scroll down as well, theft, it says maybe stolen. So if we look at this Mercedes, although it does look really, really nice in these pictures, we know that it has had a massive monumental crash and it is currently wanted as stolen. So if you see this for sale, not for you, move on. So again, if you want to look at buying yourself a used car, make sure you run a car vertical report on it first, like I have done just now. What's more, to sweeten the deal, you'll get 10% off using the code AutoAlex. Right then, let's negotiate with Chris. All right, so it is half an hour later. We have done a lot of negotiating. I'm very tired.
Yeah, he was quite tough, wasn't he?
He's very, very tough,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Chris, fair play, stuck to his guns. We came in at $3,000. He said no, $4,000 minimum.
Well,
and
no,
then-
he said £4,500 minimum.
for
And then we got him down to £4,000.
Yeah.
And then there was like a bit of a fight.
Yeah.
And then he ended up on the floor, and then you ended up getting it for 3,850.
3,875 because I was offering 3,750. He went down to 4 and then split the middle with £125. 3,875. So that is what we've landed on.
Yep.
We know there's not a lot of profit in it, but it's an iconic car. We love these cars, and if we can fix it up, make a little bit of profit,
Yeah.
then happy days. And it's a good way to start the series as well,
And
I think.
it gets another awesome car like this back to tip-top shape and back on the road.
Join us for the second episode of this series where we will be tarting this Audi S4 up, and then you will be selling it as
Yeah.
well. So next time, tart up, sell, then you'll know how much profit we've made, and then we can put that into the pot for the next car, go bigger and better,
Yeah.
hopefully.
But for now, to be continued.
Thank you very much for watching. Have a wonderful weekend, and please make sure you subscribe to not only this channel, but Auto Alex V2 if you like kind of more behind the scenes stuff, and a podcast that we have got coming out very, very soon.
When we
Yeah?
get round to it.
When we get round to it, because Rory keeps on going on holiday.
Rory, what is it with you and your
You're going away
holidays?
for 2.5 weeks on your bloody holiday.
You're going on holiday twice next week.
Indeed. So
Twice.
while everyone's watching this, Rory is in Venice with his girlfriend. Oh, I've got a girlfriend. Oh, I love her
And
so
isn't he
much.
going to Portugal at the weekend?
The weekend
as well?
after?
Week after.
Unbelievable.
You are taking the
My
piss.
birthday, I'm
No one
30.
How dare
cares.
it's my birthday this week. I'm not going on holiday.
Anyway,
I've got work to do.
Shush. If anyone would like a job doing what Rory does, which I don't know what he does. Thank you. Goodbye.